bit about your struggle. They probably had to babysit on these school nights a lot. There are children here. As Dr. Jones mentioned, in the normal scheme of things, you get your bachelor's degree when you're 22 or so, and then you marry and have children, and eventually you get to watch them get their degrees. But some of you are going to receive degrees with your children looking on. And that's going to make an impression on them, even if they're little right now. One, that'll inspire them later. I promise you. I've seen it too many times. They've seen you studying and working for this, and it's going to have a lasting effect. So, now you've become part of this gritty tradition of struggling to attain a college education, of struggling to better yourself. You people are achievers. You've proved it tonight. You're going to keep on proving it. That's a major reason that I still enjoy working with college students even after all these years. I like working with achievers. I like working with people who are going somewhere. I urge you to pursue work that you love and don't deviate from it, because the thing is, you're all sharp. You're capable of doing any variety of things. The way you narrow it down is by basing your career on what really turns you on what gives you deep pleasure and satisfaction. I've spent more than 4 decades doing that. It's been fun and exciting, fascinating, endlessly rewarding. I fell in love with history as a boy. I spent my life reading about it, traveling to historic sites from ghost towns to battlefields to castles, cavalry forts. I've spent my life researching and writing about history and teaching it to mature young men and women like you. Teaching about the history of everything. There is a history of everything, you know. Sports, clothes, music, guns, movies. Favorite topic of mine. These are the kinds of things I've written about. My first book, Encyclopedia of Western Gunfighters, was produced by a noted publisher in this particular field, and it's still in print now after 30 years. It's been published in German editions twice. The success of that first book opened a lot of doors for me. I began having publishers contact me. I got in the habit of finishing one book and then immediately starting the next one. I've published 37 books with 9 different publishers, and it's led to all kinds of rich experiences for me. But the reason I mention this, despite all of that, I realized a long time ago that I don't have any talent as a writer. Even though I'd wanted to write ever since I was a boy, I don't have any talent for it. I cannot express passion and emotion like a poet. I'm not creative like a novelist or a playwright. But what I can do is work very hard to be a craftsman, a wordsmith. I work to make my material smooth to read, and I do know how to tell a story. That's what I do every working day for the past 4 decades. History is the story of people. I try to make the people of the past come alive for my students and for my readers. I have to substitute good work habits, you see, for the talent that I lack. I do a lot of research. I write every day, and I guess you get better at something if you do it every day for 40 years. I decided a long time ago that as long as publishers want to produce my work, then I should write. Get these subjects on the record. I feel driven to do so. But I believe with all my being that we are here for a purpose. I've found my purposes, and I've worked hard at them. So what is your purpose in life? Our democratic free enterprise system demands an educated population, and yet of more than 200,000 high school graduates in Texas every year, fewer than 1/3 will go on to complete college. But you have completed college degrees. You are the educated leaders of the future. I'm telling you, America needs your leadership, perhaps now more than ever. We're the most affluent and the freest people in the history of the world. We are the most successful society in world history. That's not an accident. I believe in and I teach and I let them know what I'm doing. I teach American exceptionalism. But our freedoms are today under severe assault from within. It will be a great challenge of your generation to maintain the liberties that are the source of our greatness. On the subject of greatness, I want to read you something that I discovered years ago. I was reading an autobiographical account by James Michener, the hugely popular Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist. As a young man, Michener served in World War II as a naval officer in the South Pacific. Now, after a close brush with death on a Pacific island, he couldn't sleep that night. Pick this up. Lest Barry not let me sleep tonight. Whatever I did. He couldn't sleep that night. engaged in serious thinking that would prove to be a turning point in his life, because in the wee hours of the morning, he wrote this guideline for himself. Remember, he was just a young man at this point. But he wrote, "I'm going to live the rest of my life as if I were a great man. I'm going to erase envy and cheap thoughts. I'm going to concentrate my life on the biggest ideas and ideals that I can handle. I'm going to associate with people who know more than I do. I'm going to tackle objectives of moment." By following this formula, of course, Michener became a great man. By the time I discovered Michener's formula, I realized that I would never achieve greatness. But at least I could, quote, live the rest of my life as if I were a great man. At least I could, quote, erase envy and cheap thoughts. And I could, quote, concentrate my life on the biggest ideas and ideals that I can handle, and the rest of it. Now, I have to confess to you that there have been all too many days that I've failed to live up to this formula. But I have benefited from it often enough that I can earnestly recommend it. I hope that you'll do better with it, in fact, than I have. Indeed, you've shown that you know how to set a goal and overcome whatever obstacles there are to achieve that goal. So let tonight be a starting point for you to pursue your own measure of greatness. Congratulations again, and good fortune with your futures.
When you've got the blues because you're down and feeling bad, you need to take your time and smile, then you won't be so sad. There's a way to make your day alright. You might be sorry if you keep on looking down. Look up, you'll see hope in all the people you're around. There's a way to make your day alright. I have some things to say, but I don't have much time. It's just you've become the sweet dream in my mind. And when I look your way and you smile, you have made my day. If I can find a way to help you throw your blues away, then we might find a way to make the day alright. When people try to break my day, there's one thing I can do. I just close my eyes and sing my song and think of you. That's the way I make my day alright. There's a way to make your day alright.